So I've had the Beam Pro now for well over a year. The Beam Pro actually came out around June of last year, and as many of you may know, Xreal actually sent it to me before it was officially released. So needless to say, I've had plenty of time with the Beam Pro. Now, first things first, this isn't actually the original one that I had last year. The original one I had actually got stolen, and I was lucky enough to have it get replaced. So this is my second Beam Pro. But in the time that I've had this Beam Pro, there has been a lot that I've pretty much learned everything that I can learn about it. And today I'm going to share with you guys the pros, the cons, my use cases, and if it's actually worth getting, especially if you already have something like a Samsung which has Samsung Dex in it. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, if you're just looking to be entertained, then keep watching because I have quite a few things to cover on this. Starting with the physical feature of the Beam Pro. One of the things I love about the Beam Pro is the fact that it's a cell phone like device. I know some people don't like this form factor, but I personally like this form factor for a number of reasons. For one, it's easy to access the device itself because it's touchscreen. So it's basically an Android device, just like a cell phone, which I can tap and use. If you're looking at something like the Viture Pro neckband, it's great, it goes around your neck, but to interact with the device, it's kind of cumbersome. I either have to use my phone, a controller, or the hand gesture, which isn't, I mean, it's got some improvements, but I just wanted to be able to interact with it much quicker and faster. And with this, I can do that. Or even if you look at the Rokid station, it's kind of like the same thing with the Xreal original Beam. It's a puck, so I can't easily interact with it as much. Like I said, the form factor is kind of a preference thing. Some people prefer the puck like, some people prefer the pro neckband. I personally prefer this because I can easily control this. Another thing about this form factor is, even though this is designed for spatial computing, I use this quite a lot. So before I actually get into that, first off, this is a case. What I did was I put a MagSafe magnet ring around the back. On the back. That way I can use it in a number of ways. One, I can take the magnet on the back of my Z Fold and put it on it. Now I have a MagSafe capable device, and I can hold it better, or I can prop it up like a stand. But another thing that is cool is, man, this Mac is pretty strong. But I have this Bluetooth speaker here, which I can actually put in the back, and it's very, very secure. It's not going anywhere. This can serve as a stand as well as allow me to play audio right from the, for example, I can play this music. Or I can go to YouTube, for example. I like watching chiropractor adjustment, so I can just click on this video. Now, the Beam Pro itself does have speakers, but the speakers are not all that great. So I like to use either a Bluetooth or use my Xreal One when using the Beam Pro to watch content. I use this basically like a cell phone. So for example, I'm getting a TENS unit right now that is connected via Bluetooth on my back to get some relaxation, and it's connected to this. I'm using this as my connectivity device. Another great thing that I use this for is, so I'm a real estate agent and I often shoot real estate videos. I use this as my preview screen when I'm having my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to record. I use this as my display preview screens in many different ways. And then I also just use this to also chat with my girl. Man, I truly use this like a cell phone. There are also some times where I don't even want to watch a movie with my glasses. I just want to watch it straight onto the device. So for example here, I can go on Prime, click on the very first thing I see and just start watching it, and it's gonna play right on the screen. I don't need to connect to the glasses. I can just literally watch it right here. You can also use this like a flashlight to find things because it's got flashlight in the back. This is something you can also only do with a device like this. There's just so many use cases of having a mobile-like device. Now, like I said, some people prefer the puck-like device. Some people prefer neckband-like device. It's all up to you. Which ones do you guys prefer? I prefer this, but I understand why some people may prefer different options. This skin I bought online, but I also have another skin that I actually 3D printed. I have a 3D printer and I printed this skin right here, and occasionally I will switch it back and forth, but I actually end up, the first skin that I printed when the Beam Pro that got stolen was really perfect, but this one, it just feels a bit too hard. I should have used a different filament, but it's a bit too hard, so I go back to this skin. All right, so that's some of the physical feature. Now, as far as functionality goes, if you don't know what this thing is capable of, it basically allows you to have multi-window spatial computing, which means that you can have Netflix on one side and you can have YouTube on the other side. That way you can multitask or I don't know, whatever you want to do, you can have multiple windows that allow you to do many different things. As far as multi-window performance, what I've noticed is over the time that I've been using this device, it's become a bit slower when I'm doing multi-window. In order for me to get the same speed I used to get when I'm doing multi-windows, I had to install one of these things app called Phone Cleaner. And with this Phone Cleaner, what I have to do is I would have to end all the background processes. I go into Process Manager right here, and you see this part that says used memory and free memory. I just kill everything, and once I kill everything, multi-window pretty much starts working, smoothly with no issues. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of have an idea why it's gotten slower over the time. It's because it's doing a lot more than it used to, so I can understand, but I'll hope that Xreal works on it, because once again, among Rokid Station, Xreal Beam Pro, and Viture Pro neckband, Xreal Beam Pro seems to be the slowest when it comes to multitask, unless you have a task killer installed. Now, as far as the multi-window experience, ironically, I also prefer the Xreal Beam Pro. I enjoy using the Xreal Beam Pro more than pretty much any of the other spatial computing, more than Rokid Station, more than Viture's Pro neckband. On the Rokid Station, you can have 3 windows, and three windows run a lot better on Rokid Station than 2 windows run on the Xreal Beam Pro. But the downside with the Rokid Station is you can't have Netflix in spatial computing or multi-windows. You cannot have Disney Plus. You can't have Prime. I mean, basically all these apps that are DRM protected, you cannot use them in 3DOF or spatial windows. Once again, I don't just use this for spatial computing. Like I said, I do a lot more with this device. When I'm on vacation, I use the cameras to record 3D videos. I don't have to do no extra conversion. 3D videos right then and pretty easy to start recording. Now, is this worth it? Especially if you have something like a Samsung phone. Now, why do I say this? It's because Samsung has a mode called DeX mode. DeX mode allows you to basically get ultra wide screen, curve, and you can have multiple windows while your phone screen is off. That's a big thing. A lot of other devices don't have the ability to have something like a desktop mode where you can keep the phone screen off. With Samsung, you can do that. Now, the thing is with Samsung, you only have one port. So a lot of times your phone, your cable is going to be connected, which means you either need to charge your phone wirelessly or get something like this, which is what I use when I'm typically using DeX mode. So I have this right here. This is how I store my glasses. I have the cables at the bottom. Usually I will have this here and I would just have this covered. But yeah, so this right here is what I use when I'm typically using DeX mode. If my battery is not full, I just plug this in, and then I plug my glasses in one side and I plug my charging cable in one side, and then I can use basically DeX mode. Now, DeX mode is pretty different compared to the special windows that you get. With Samsung, you have a lot better of a performance. I can run as many apps as I want to with no slowdown issues. So when I'm using DeX mode, I just have a super great experience. I use DeX mode just about every day. That's not something I can do with this as far as performance. I'm limited to 2 windows, and then even when I have 2 windows, they are a bit sluggish because of the RAM, and it's just a bit slower. So I enjoy using multi-windows better on Samsung DeX than I do with this. However, the spatial experience, especially when I'm just watching a show or movie with one app, I always pick this. If I'm only gonna be using one app, I always pick this. Occasionally, I will pick this when I'm doing multi windows because I like the fact that I can have one in landscape and one in portrait. It's a bit different on this. So for me personally, this is absolutely worth it. Now, if you don't have Samsung phone or Motorola, I definitely think this is absolutely worth it, because from here is how you can do spatial computing. And also, if you want to be able to do stuff like mixed reality recording, this is the only device that is capable of. And then this is the only device that also allows you to use the camera on your Xreal One to capture things live. For example, you can make live video calls using this camera. That way people can see your perspective on a live call, or you can do like a Zoom calls, whatever it is that you want to do. This camera can be accessed directly from this. That's not something you can use with any other device for now. Now, as far as glasses connected to this, you actually have 2 different experiences depending on what glasses is connected. For example, the Xreal Air 2 or the original Xreal Air is compatible with this device, but your interface looks a bit more like a 2D when this is connected, versus when you have the Xreal One connected, you have a more 3D like environment. Everything feels like it pops out a bit more. It just gives you a more futuristic look. The menu pop out a bit more like in 3D. The windows, you can adjust the distance a bit more. Here with this one, you can adjust the sizing. Here you can adjust the sizing and the distance, the perceived distance to you. So the experience is slightly different depending on what glasses you have. If you want the best experience in spatial computing, then you'll need the One or One Pro and the Beam. But if you want something that still gets by and still works, then any of the Xreal glasses would work as well. Now, this device is also, it's $190 or $99 or something like that. I feel like for what you get with this thing, for what it's capable of, this is absolutely worth it. Now, before you say anything weird, no, this video is not sponsored. Xreal is not paying me to make this video. Matter of fact, they don't know I'm making this video, and they will not be seeing this video unless they go to my YouTube just like everyone else. So this is 100% my opinion, not paid, not sponsored, or anything like that. I do believe this is worth it. When my original one got stolen, I was devastated because I do so much with it, more than just watching videos. I do a lot with my own device, and I can keep my phone charged or reserved it for other stuff. One thing I'm curious about is there anyone else that uses their Beam Pro for more than just watching movies? I want to know, is there other use cases in which you guys use your device? For example, I use mine a lot for previewing videos, like I mentioned multiple times now. I want to know what other ways are you guys using your device. And if you don't have one and you're thinking about getting it, I will say get it. You can wait for future devices, but honestly, at $200, I think it's worth it. But that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to sell you. If you want to try other competition, then Rokid Station is a pretty good alternative. Although I would say probably go with the Viture. Viture Pro neckband allows you to watch DRM content in 3DOF, and you can do AI 3D, 2D to 3D conversion right on this device. So, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.